Check, check. One, two, three. Good day. Good morning, guys. Good morning to the people of the US. Good evening to those of you who are in Asia, and I know good noon maybe for the people in Europe. But yeah, welcome to my stream. I didn't post anything about this stream. I don't know, just no plans really for today or in today's stream. But yeah, I was wanting to just do sources. I mean, like, it's based off of what Misk commented in my video on the Fossey DS3 and how I measure sources. So we are doing that. But yeah, for you guys, how are you doing? How are you there? What we're gonna do? I'm gonna make this live stream really quick though. I may be doing it wrong, but I measuring the frequency response of the sources is part of measuring, because when you have a new source you have to calibrate the source to match with what you are measuring. Okay, so do I have, yeah, do I do this? Yeah, I'll try to do this. Do I need USB? So I'll show you what it looks like to EQ. I have here the Fossey audio. I even forgot what this is. K7, yeah, Fossey audio K7. This is a Bluetooth DAC amp, I think. Yeah, it's a K7. And the K7, it has treble and bass gain. Yep, it has treble and bass, as what I know. Yeah, it's really hard to, not really hard, but yeah, I was also wondering if I can also measure DAPs, because DAPs usually have what do you call this, like USB mode. So I'll do that too and see if it really correlates to how I think about the DAPs, because for the FIO, for the Shanling, I feel like this Shanling M3 Plus, I feel like they're just flat out neutral. A little bit of warmth. For the FIO JM21, I feel like they're more engaging. Bass is fuller. Yeah, I know the Foss K7. It's very good. So yeah, I know it's very, and I've noticed this one. Was it this one or no? It's I have another one in here. I have the Sound Blaster G8, I think. So we're gonna measure the G8 because I feel like the G8. I feel like the bass is not that full on listening, and yeah, on listening it's not that full, and I can probably hopefully show you why it's like that. So yeah, basically that's what we're gonna do in this live stream here, just measure sources. Hopefully I can do my daps though. Yeah, sure, definitely. So my source measuring setup, it's basically just the same as measuring IEMs, man. Okay. You just need a special. So this is my this is my measuring rig. Dang it. So, the one dongling here is the EPZ TP35. That's because I know people are doing just the Apple because it has dual. What's that? And then they use a splitter. Okay. Um, I don't. I use a Sound Blaster Creative SBX for the sound card mic. So this is my mic in here, the Sound Blaster. Oh man, this is a very old sound card, by the way. I just feel like it's more. So it's a very old sound card in here, the Sound Blaster. Yeah, you can use any sound card because anyway they have a mic input. So this one here also has a mic input and an out, right? Dedicated mic only actually. So God. Sound Blast Creative Sound Blaster SBX. Model number SG290. No, it's not SG290. No, wait. Creative. It's a very old one, dude. Creative Sound Blaster SBX. Dude, it's not even here. It's not. I can't even search it. Wait. Is it SS? Can't see it. Wait. For a while, let me find it. SBX Pro Studio. Probably discontinued it, but I'm trying to look for the exact model in here. Oh, is it SB? Oh, SB1290. No. SB1290. Yes. Oh, it's still on Amazon. So it's SB1290. SB1290. That's the model number. Right. So yeah, it's this one in here. So yes, I understand that. Yeah, they just do the Apple dongle anyway. But I've noticed this first because I've had this sound blaster at first, right? I've had this for a long time. And so I know that they are using splitter when they measure IM. So what I mean by that is, so they just do I have the GM20? I I have a splitter, but I'm not using them, okay? Ugh. I know where my dongles are, but anyhow, so it's just a splitter, like I don't know. It separates the mic and the input. But anyhow, I have my SBX in here for the mic, and then a dongle, the TP35 for what's this? For the input. Um Now the ADC, I think the ADC is coming from the input, not the mic. So I don't think um what's this? So the mic is just the mic, but the ADC, the audio to digital converter, I think it's from the input. So yes, I have the Apple dongle, but what I feel about the people, not really the people, but the reviewers who use the Apple dongle, their measurements tend to appear brighter, at least on their rig, okay? They appear to be brighter in the treble. I mean, it's good, and maybe that's what really sounds like. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, you know what? I don't know where my splitter is, but anyhow, this is how I measure. Okay, so yep, I may be doing it incorrectly. My measurements may be inaccurate, but um, I went to this route because I feel like the measurements that I'm getting from here corresponds to what I measure on the graph. Okay, I've tried the Apple dongle before, and I feel like they appear brighter in the upper treble, like 2 dB more than what I hear them. So that's why I went with this route, and I never changed. Um, How about now? Are you able to hear me now? Let me know. Still nothing? Okay, alright. Yeah, it's just the OBS stuff. So yeah, it's muted because when I plugged it in there, my PC recognized it as a different audio source, and so I had to change the settings. So 3.5 to 3.5, I'm gonna loop it, okay? So mic input and the audio input. So just kind of like short circuit it. Short circuit. All right. So that's short circuited now. And I'm gonna go to Rue. I'm gonna measure first, you know, the TP35 in there because I have the TP35 plugged in anyway. So let's see that preferences in here. I've got the output device is the TP35, and then the input, the microphone is the Sound Blaster. All right, and it asks you a calibration in there. So there's a button here that calibrates sound card, right? Because you have to have a calibration in here. What I mean by that is usually when you get the coupler, they send you with a file, but I didn't use their sound card, so they didn't give me. They should have their own calibration. So if you buy a coupler with their sound card, they'll give you a file or their calibration, but you can also do it your own. So you just go to calibrate sound card in there, and this is gonna clip, okay? Because you short-circuited the mic input and the output. So it's gonna check how it's clipping. So you see here, anyhow, so the sweep level is 12, right? You can reduce the sweep level if this clips. Usually there are dongles that are older, they clip. Say for example, if I loop the creative inputs and output, this is gonna clip because it doesn't have a good amp. In this case, you see there that the output is -12 and the input is 14. Now what you're gonna do is just change the volume to match the output and the input, and you know there's no red in there. Okay, so where's my... Yeah, this has volume buttons. Okay, so the TP35 has volume buttons, so I just change it. So if I go, I can change that. You can see that it's going down, it's going up. So you just have to match that output and input. So that should match it around 12. Perfect. And so where's my other window? Oh, there it is. And you just go next, next, and look at that. You see this running in here at the side? That is the measurement. Okay. For me, when I found this, when I did this with a TP35, I thought it was exceptional. It was exceptionally clean. No clipping, no whatsoever. It's exceptionally clean in here, all right? So this is how it measured. So I may be wrong in doing this, but this is how it is, all right? Let me apply some smoothing in there. So that's pretty much it. And then you save it, okay? You save it somewhere. Where's the save? All right, and then yeah, you export it and export as measurement. So okay, that's our TP35. So my setup is yeah, kind of. All right, let's do another loop in here. Now, this one in here is my melody. The Snow Sky melody, I put a PEQ in here for my I put a PEQ for my what? Rockies to match Lumen. I don't know why I did that, but anyhow, the EQ is still active in here. Let's do that. All right, let's do that again. Preferences, Snow Sky melody. Calibrate sound card. See that? It almost clipped, so maybe reduce volume a little bit. All right, next. So see that? So sometimes it clips. No, it didn't. It clipped. So cancel. Let's do it one more time. Excessive clipping, really? It could be because of the PEQ, because there's PEQ applied in here. Oh my god, that's too loud. I'll do 21. Oh no. 21. Okay, so this is the melody. Yes. I don't think my measurements has a bass roll off. In fact, I was the only one who was able to measure 15 dB of bass for the Zigot I understand that. Yeah, they yes. Australia. If you see other measurements here, man, like if Australia is they said like 15 dB, but when you look at other measurements of the Australia, man, it's not even close to 15 dB, dude. Okay, so this is the same Australia as, say for example, who was this from? Let's say JT's in there. Look at that. They have, like, there's even like more roll off in their unit, right? And this is what? This is 60. This is only 10 dB. Is only 10 dB. And my Australia is the same unit as dude, who's that? Oh, Hobby Talks. Because I loaned it from Jay and he said the unit is with Hobby. But where's Hobby? Okay, here. Same unit. Look at that. How many? Just 10. They only got 10 dB there, dude. Mine, freaking 15. So I know if so I know what you mean. If I measured it with the I know what you mean, because when I measured, because before I didn't separate them. I just used the creative SBX and it measured weird. I know it makes no sense, right? I know it makes no sense. This is the thing about Rue. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The thing about Rue, yeah, it gives you an impression that okay, I know what you mean. So right, but the thing here is it drops off, right? However, when measurements are uploaded to Squig, they cut at 30. I don't know. I know what you mean by that. I know what you mean by that. It doesn't make with the measurements, right? I understand that. It's not supposed to be linear. I just feel like it's not supposed to be linear in here. So anyhow, this is what it looks like with Okay. So this is what my EQ looks like. No, the roll off starts at around 20, right? I don't think anyone was able to capture. Oh, this one in here lingered until 1. This is interesting, but this is the PEQ anyway. But let me remove that. It's weird, I know, it doesn't make sense. But for me, I just think of it as this may be the limitation of my measuring, that it doesn't really measure linear. So when I say linear measuring, I look at how smooth I look at how smooth they actually perform. Okay, let me show you something in here, okay? Sorry guys, this is a little bit technical and I could be wrong, but so we saw that the TP35 never clipped, just nothing, no extra, no fuzz. So let me calibrate this one in here. Now this is the DS3, the Fosse Audio DS3. Let me calibrate that. It's not audible. Oh, this is too loud. Oops, 12. All right. Now, look closely here. It immediately clips before. And that clipping translates into jittery something like this one in here. Kind of like, it's not as, I know I already smoothened it out, but even if I smoothen this, there's gonna be a, like some jittery around this area in here, which for me translates as, it doesn't really, and when I measure IMs with this, it may not be able to, how do I say? What's the word? It may not be able to portray, is it the word, is portray the right, portray the right bass texture or something? Is portray the right word? All right. So, and then another one in here. So I mentioned about the sound blaster, okay? The sound blaster being like, I feel like the Sound Blaster G8, I feel like the bass is a little the bass on the G8 is like, it doesn't really, how do I say? It's lacking. It's just lacking. I just feel like it's lacking. A lot of people say it's neutral, but it's just lacking. Okay, so I have the G8 in here. Yeah, it could be the ADC. Um, so this is the G8, by the way. Let's see here. No preferences. Where's is this the one? Yeah, G8. So this is the G8. It has some well, let me. That's close enough. J8's clean. Really clean though. Ugh, but look at that. It clipped. Oh man, no, let's no, not that one. Let's remove that. It clipped like there's no for oh god. Okay, let's make it a little lower though. Yeah, okay, I'll try this one here. Man, this is so oh, dude. Oh, okay. Oh, so I have to. Sorry about that. There's a mode in here that I have to. Nope. Let's do that. It's. Yeah, it was in the. It's a different mode or something. Okay. That's why that's why it's clipping because it was in a like a not in the default mode. Oh no. Oh, sorry about that. So you see, like a lot of companies do coloration. They do coloration with their sources. But then again, I could be wrong in this, okay? What's going on in here? Okay, let's do that. This is the problem with a digital volume, man. Like I can't accurately. No, it keeps clipping, so I'll reduce it to 21 dBFS. It keeps clipping. I don't know why. Too loud, dude. I don't even know. I forgot the modes, dude. I forgot. Let me do this one last time. I can't move on. I have to measure the sound blaster. Uh Oh, is it? What do you mean? Let me see. Oh, for a while. Any problems? Did it stop though? You know what? I'm just gonna show you. Let me know if my live stream's still not showing up. I think I have G8. Really? Yeah. Let me remove this. How did I even get this measurement? No, 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 no. Import. Dude, I have so many final. I don't know, but yeah, the G8 just really cuts too early. Can you still see me though? Okay, let me just. Oh man, I'm having a hard time measuring. Okay, let me try a different source. It may be clipping because it doesn't have enough power. Could be that. Okay. It could be the DAC or from the ADC. Yeah. It's hard to tell really because I make I make it very complicated. Okay, let me just do this one more time again for So yeah, okay, let me know if you can't see it. It's probably I can see it in my end, but I don't know if it's showing the right way this time. All right, let's see one more time in there. Okay, I'll go speakers this time. Let's see if it'll do it. Okay, it's much more stable now. Oh, there it is. All right. So it's also measures. Why does it have a bump? Let me remove the final here. It's making me confused. move that green in there. Yeah, so it could be because of that. Dude, I'm not making sense anymore. What is the result? G8 ADC and TP35. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out because the G8 has a lot of settings and I forgot what the buttons are. What the modes are. So let me just. So weird, man. It's so weird. Let me. Okay, this one in here. It's set to 0. Why does it only do headphone? Oh, okay. It clipped now. Is it the middle button? I don't know, but it's giving me this weird coloration now. It's giving me this weird coloration in here. That it boosts the upper frequencies. Oh, okay, wait. Middle button. Supposed to be green. But that's the thing, I can't measure it if I do the middle button. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Am I doing wrong here? Nope. Ah, I know what. Okay, I know what's going on. Ah, dang it, Windows. Nope, no Dolby. No spatial sound. Audio. Alright, let's do that one more time. Let's see if... Rue can't handle it. Alright, let's do that one more time. Calibrate. Next. Nope. Why can't I control it though? Wait. Oh, okay, no device. Freaking. Okay, there you go. Now I can't do anything about it. Dude, this G8 is so annoying. G8. Calibrate. It doesn't let me. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm gonna quit after this. I didn't know how I did that. Okay, that's too loud. Let's do 12. So it only works if I press the HP SPK in there. I think that's headphones. But okay, that's what I thought. It was the coloration from the spatial audio because it detects the it detects Windows detects anything that's, I don't know, spatial or something, Dolby, something like that, and it applies it on Rue, and I've noticed that many times already. So let me just see that there is a very big roll off. Which one did I measure first? I think, no, I'm gonna remove that. That's not what. Okay, for a while. Okay, let me show you something about this. So this is the PEQ. This is the TP35. This is the DS3, and this is the Sound Blaster. So looking side by side, but they don't even match, man. This is how the Sound Blaster exactly sounds to me. It's not as full sounding in the treble because I see that it's just like after 10K, it's very, it just goes down. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna find my splitter, okay? And let's see if we get the same results. But the problem is where? No, it's not here. I don't know where my splitter is. I can't find it. But anyhow. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I understand your point, Miss. And I know that I'm not supposed to measure DAX because I don't show the linearity of it. But I'm doing this um, just to see if there's any coloration of the sound, um, or it if changes the frequency at all when I post it on Squig. Because ultimately, when I measure IMs, I post it on Squig, and hopefully it reflects how I hear the IMs, just like the Australia. So I may not have measured the DAC well in my end, but at least when I measure IEMs, it reflects how I hear the IEM, and it reflects how the companies say they're supposed to sound. So yeah, with the what's this one in here? There, I know there's a lack in my end with like the stuff and the ADC converter, but at the end of the day, at least I'm able to capture what everyone has not. And I don't know what's wrong with their measuring, and why they can't capture that 15 dB of bass with the Australia. And it could be a coupler thing. It could be that they didn't really calibrate their sources, because they should be. Every time they change their source, they should be calibrating it on RU, and then that calibration of the source becomes the backbone of your measurement. So for example, I have a calibration file in here. If I use say for example, this is the sound card of the G8. If I use this calibration file to up to the TP35, the IMs are gonna measure differently. Yes. So I don't know if reviewers know that they have to calibrate their own DAC chips, and they have to make one, but I'm doing it anyway. So basically, that's that's how I do it. And yeah, I'm not so well versed with the technicalities on like the linearity of DACs and what they should be doing, but I'm doing just probably enough, um, just enough to see the changes of frequency. Um, why I'm saying this is, okay, let me just do an experiment here. Actually, I'm just gonna do an experiment. My experiment would be, my experiment is, I am going to EQ the IM, because this is what people say, right? If you increase the bass, usually there is an effect on, say for example, there is an effect on the treble, and if you decrease a treble, like they go both ways. So I am gonna do, so I'm gonna measure first an IM, let's say for example the Rockies, using say for example DS3. Okay, and then I'm gonna increase the bass and see if the treble actually goes down. Yeah, I know that. That's why I don't want to go into that, because for me, those measurements in the distortion doesn't really. How do I say it? It's so hard to prove that it's almost like, okay, I come from a scientific background, but not really a lot. Okay, at least I have knowledge about research. You have to know a little bit about variability. If I feel like there's too many variables, I dismiss that as, nah, it's not worth it. And I know, and in this audiophile world, any data can be used to any data they use to support their beliefs. I feel like it's like an ego trip, you know, like, oh, I have this data. Okay, what do I do with that data? Dude, like those data, these are like, if you've done a proper research, you would know that data is data, but a lot of people seem to control what they want to get, you know, like what data they want to get. That is not research. Research is like you are willing to accept if the data doesn't match your expectations. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, what did I say? Okay, so let me just, so I'm gonna measure DS3. Okay, I have a calibration with a DS3. Okay, so I have a calibration file with the DS3. I'm gonna measure Rockies. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I didn't know there's a lot of beef with the headphone show. Okay, so this is the Rockies in here. Did I hit the 8K? A little bit forward. See that in there? Because you see that with the DS3, it has a little bit of I'm not sure if you remember, but it kind of like reflected how the background measured, because this is how the DS3 measured, right? I know it's not showing here because it's like a roll off. I don't know why. Honestly, miss, I also don't understand why it's showing here as a roll off, but when I measure IMs, it's freaking linear. So it could be the distortion going on in there. Dude, I feel like the distortion is real in here. That is distortion there on the works, you know? See that? Dude, so many... was that or what? Maybe that was just my... God, delete it all. Let me just do that one more time. Could be the table. So much distortion, man. Okay. See that? So, but it's gonna get cut off when I transfer it to RU. Alright? Let me just smoothen it. Okay, so that's our graph in there. What I'm gonna do is Fossey Audio PQ. What's the site, man? Oh, it's not showing again? Okay, alright. Can you see now? Let me know if you can't see it. It's okay. Where was I? Now I Fossey audio. Where's that DS3 PQ? Man, why do this is so annoying? Fossey audio DS3 PEQ. Web app. Yeah, it's there. Okay, there we go. Ah, let me know if you can't see it. Okay, add device, Fossey DS3 connected. And I'm gonna do EQ switch. I'm gonna do custom. Can I do this? Okay, so it's working. I wanna do... Yeah, let's do that. Raise it. Bass, okay? What I'm expecting here is I increase that. Do I hit save? No save. That's it. All right, that's it. Huh? So why? Okay, so yeah, let's increase more. Yeah, increase that bass in there. Yep. A lot of bass. Okay. And then let me go to Ruin here and try to measure this again if it will display. It clipped. No. Dude, it clipped. Oh my god, so sorry. It didn't. No, this. It clipped. Check levels. Ah, because of... No, man. I have to change that. This is too loud. This is too loud. Let me reset this. Okay, alright. Let's do it mildly, gently. Just a little bit of there and a little bit in there. Gently, okay? It freaking clipped, dude. Okay, alright. This is able to take it. No problem with that. So, this should have more bass, but my point is, will it lower down? Ooh, look at that, man! Like mountain! That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay. Now, this is my point in here. I hope you're able to see this. So, I was expecting, okay? I was expecting that if we raise the bass, we are gonna see lesser treble, okay? Now, so, including myself, we talk about like there's this balance of bass and treble, right? Like, for example, in my reviews, I say like if they increase the bass, it might actually lower than the treble. I was wrong. And this is the proof in here. Because I was expecting that we will have a different measurement on the treble. And this is coming from the source. Okay, so it means that there was no change with the earphone. Okay, it was the source that we're EQing. Okay, so it means that the earphone was just doing what it was supposed to do. Having said that, is it showing the Fossey screen? Oh man, why is it? Oh, it does. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Yeah, can you see it now? Hopefully you can see it now. All right. Okay, so this is the measurement of the green one is the EQ, okay? And then the blue one is just the Fossey DS3 without EQ. So my assumption was if I increase the bass in there, we will see a decrease of measurement in here around the treble area. But no. I was wrong because I thought that if you increase the bass, now everything just comes into perception, perceived brightness and perceived fullness in the bass. So, because I was expecting that, you are expecting that since you have more of the bass air pressure in here, that it will mitigate the treble, but it did not. It did not mitigate the treble. It did not bring it down with EQ. And this is again, so we people say that like they EQ it on Squig. Here I EQ the source and measure the IM. You know what I mean? So when they say like, yeah, when you increase the bass, it can mitigate the treble, blah blah blah, and then they show you the EQ'd graph on the PEQ on Squig. Okay, in my case, what I did is I EQ'd it here, and then I measured the same IM, and it did not have any change in the treble. The treble is still the same. So, I don't know what to say about this information. An impedance adapter might change the treble. I doubt that. That's why I said, oh, good question. Okay, the impedance adapter might actually change it. Yes. Sorry about that. Yes, the impedance might change because especially if they have crossovers, they now have different values. So the values are going to be split, but depending again how many crossovers they have. So good question though. Now what if I put an impedance adapter? Let's do that. Yeah, for the sake of experiment. Alright, so I have a 30 ohm adapter in here. Yes, I know. It's the masking, and I understand that. What I was saying is, I thought that there's gonna be objective measurements when we balance out the bass and the treble. I thought there's gonna be an objective measurement of change when you EQ, So again, everything is just masking, and I understand that, but masking is also relative depending your ear canal length, the diameter of your ear canal. The wider they are, the more you are gonna less mitigate that treble in there. So let me put an impedance adapter in here and see if there's actually change in the treble. 30 ohm adapter. That is very low in volume. Oh man, it's not even... Where's my volume in here? Let's see if it affects... yeah. Dude, this is what I don't like about... man... Uh... I forgot how to change that. Fuck, man. Yes, there is a... I would... Really? Yeah, there's a change in treble there. So So I just matched the 8K in here and it just lifted everything. So... But yeah. Did that even help? But yeah, that's what I can see in here. So I'm just basing it off the 8K, and if I match that, it did change the treble. So see, impedance is still a factor with different sources, and I know those tube amps, they have low impedance values, and so that's why they make the IMs warm, because it makes it literally changes the FR. So I don't have tubes yet. I may get one just for the sake of science and why they sound warm. I'm pretty sure they have, like, I don't know, like a lot of distortion maybe. um yeah, another one that... So another one that I want to that I used measuring before is the JM6 Pro. It has an amp. I know Corinne talked about the JM6 Pro before. This is what I used before, the TP35. Um, what I like about this is it's also kind of faithful, but it I realized that it's just too bassy. It measures it, or it adds more coloration to the bass. So let me JM6 Pro in here. Where's my JM6 Pro? Is it? Oh, this one's still here. I don't want that. Okay. Okay. I have a calibration for this. All right, let's measure. Dude, that's too loud. Yeah, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. What are you getting with your impedance stuff? This screwed. Yes, that's what I thought, because this JM6 Pro in here has an amp, and it's enough to change the signature. What's going on? It's clipping for some reason. Let me do that one more time. JM6 Pro. It's freaking too loud, man. Again, Windows bugging me again with this one. Turn off Dolby, turn off. I don't know. This is clipping. Let me save this one in here. Let me save this. Trio DS3 Rockies. All right. Remove all, and I'll restart Rue. I actually don't know, man, about that. Hobby Talk's measurements also tend to have a lower treble. Oh man, I don't know what's going on, but it's not measuring well. Let's see. What did I... Maybe this is defective. I don't know. No. You do not change... Off. To off. Alright. Let me loop this one in here and get a fresh measurement. That is freaking loud. Yeah, very loud. See that? There's like a little bit of distortion in there. Then export JM6 final. Yeah, I know. And then JM6 final 100. Okay. Got that calibrated. Let's measure again. The rock is in here. Oops, wait, I can't read a chat for a while. Okay. Smoothing it out. Import frequency response. Is it these three Rockies? See that? Yeah, it's bassier, right? You know what? You can appreciate more if we upload this on Squig. And that's why I thought like, oh, I'm not measuring everything right in here anymore. So, upload FR for squigs. Nope. Trial DS3. Where's the DS3? It's so freaking linear. Wait, and then SPL phase. JM6 Rockies. I know, dude. So what do we get from here? So this is just telling you that we can't really trust measurements. See that? Yeah, that's so the GM6 actually sounds fuller, and it corresponds to the measurements and how I hear the IMs when I use the JM6. It is warmer in sound, and it translates to measurements. It could be the impedance, you know, and I don't have the way to test that. Misk, you're doing your testings already with impedance. I'm pretty sure it's an impedance thing with the GM6. And this is how it affects graphs. Now, am I saying that? Am I? You know what? Yeah. Okay. If I'm using my listening on the I should actually change the way I test stuff. If I'm using TP35 as my measurement, I should actually use the TP35 for listening. Am I right? Or if I want to use my M3 Plus, that's the thing. No, because everything is going to be affected. And so my point here is we know that sources have different impedances and affects measurements. But reviewers, they use a different source to listen their IMs, including myself. Right? Including myself. Yeah, I know single DDs also don't have, but we know that with different sources it affects impedance. So my point in here is if I'm using the TP35 for measuring, I should also be using that for listening, just so that there is coherence in the testing and everything. It wouldn't make sense if I just use that for, you know, now that we know that it actually changes measurements, like the DS3 and the GM6. So if I use my M3 Plus for listening, that would make more sense to use this for measurements as well. And I can use that, but let me just double check if I can really. So let's measure the M3 Plus in here. Hopefully the ADB, the USB ADB files will work. Shanling tends to be really picky, I should say, with their ADB drivers and Windows. So, okay. USB DAC. Or is it really USB DAC already? Let's see if Rue can find it. That's that's the thing. Windows does not detect channeling at all. So channeling's being channeling in here. It says USB mode, but you know, it's not detecting anything. Now let's try the FIO. See if we have some success in here. USB DAC mode. Plug this in. Is it? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I can't. I need to work on this. I need to measure these. Waiting for connection. It says waiting for connection. It means that it's not getting detected by Windows. So I have to find a way for this to it's definitely the ADB drivers. I need to update them. I know Omar's done that, but yeah, so this one, this stream in here, you know, made me more conscious as a reviewer. Especially, I know it's a little bit of, you know, there's some nuance to it, but it made me aware about how I test stuff. I know there are changes I need to, and this is what's another fun in the hobby. You know, there's really how do I say? There's always room for learning. You know, I myself, I do not really research a lot, like in depth on, you know, the science behind it. I just use the best knowledge as I can. But having said that, seeing that the JM6 and the DS3 actually have different measurements, and I'm using TP35 to measure, I just probably just use TP35 when I do evaluation, just so that there is coherence in, you know, because a 1 dB can make a difference. Like if you know, if you appreciate EQ, you would know that 1 dB makes a difference. 1 dB can mean like too bright or just in the middle of, you know, at the edge of being too bright. So but yeah, Misk, what did you say here? Yeah, I know it's the venting, but dude, like I have never seen an Australia I have never seen an Australia measuring 15 dB. I mean, I'm proud of that because I was able to capture it. Like even even HBB's rig, man. Look at that. Just less than 10 dB. Now, does the Australia sound like 15 dB of bass? Yes. It does sound like there's 15 dB of bass in there. Even HBB had it wrong. Paul, still 10 dB. You know, like super reviews is close 13. Um, even Timmy's rig, man, 11. Probably Timmy's rig is, yeah, close. Yeah, still no. There's a roll off in there. Who else? Omar, 60. Still no. 11 dB. Um. And here I am with like, dude, like 15 dB in there. Let me see, 500 in there. See that? Like that's 15. I reached it in 15. Yay! But I mean, I could be wrong. There are definitely room for improvement in how I measure stuff, but I just feel like it's going to be very, very. It's going to be very. How do I say? The demographic for people who knows very deep audio is very, very small. And what I mean by that is like Amir level, Sharur, even Kryn, or like on the head, was that audio science review stuff? The demographic on those people is very, very small. I am not yet in that level, and I don't want to. Yeah, it can be helpful, but at the same time, the audio hobby for me is very, very young. We don't have the right equipment to test stuff because this is a consumption. The hobby is consumption, right? And what's funny to me is it's like, think of it as like since this is audio is a consumption, think of it as yeah, think of it as this is how I give my analogy on it. Like for example with there are people who actually fight you for preferences, and so this hobby is like you like mangoes and I like banana, and I kind of like, you know, like I hate you for liking bananas or something like that, which is weird, right? The thing about audio being subjective is just more into it's very, very personal. And what I mean by that is I know. Okay, this is. I'm not sure, but are you familiar with the color theory? So I know there's some science about color. You know, like there are the different wavelengths and stuff like that, right? Say for example, red has a different wavelength, but how about this one in here? You're seeing red, and we agree. Okay, you're seeing green, and we agree this is green. But how are you able to prove to someone that we are saying the same color? We have the wavelengths. We know that. Yes, we have the measurements, but how do you know that we're seeing the same color? What if you see this as yellow, I see it as green, but we have the same word for this color, which is green? Isn't it trippy? Isn't it crazy? Because the science behind it is just wavelengths, just a bunch of graphs. And that's just one of the sense. That's just the the visual. Taste as well, like how the hell do you know sweet is sweet? Like, yeah, we agree that a mango is sweet, but some people don't like sweets. Maybe they perceive it as sour, but we call it sweet anyway. um So going back to that, audio. So audio is a consumption. So going deeper into audio is like going deeper into cooking. You know, you can cook simple food, but the more you get better, the more you become like a chef level. Like the mushroom taste change the. I know, and that's the thing about that's the thing about is the same. Yeah, it's the same with listening habits. So there's so much to audio that I don't want to dig deeper into the objectives of it because the subjectivity part is more fun. I could go to the objectives of it, but I just kind of like learn enough. I know I can, but I could if I really, because everything is just about time. How much time you spend on something will translate to expertise, right? Um, but yeah, it's all about preference, and it's fun that way. I know there are objective data, and it's good to know the objective data, but I just keep it at the level where it's reasonable. Because again, the audio hobby is very, very young. We don't have the equipment yet to really objectify the findings because no one's done a lot of research about it. I mean, yeah, there is the 5128, and then the headphone show kind of like dismissed that kind of like you have 100,000 rig, you measure it perfectly with that head, only to know that individual heads actually have a different FR. If I was the owner of the 5128, I would be like, what the hell? Why did I even invest doing this research if everyone's heads would actually change the FR? You know what? I understand. Yeah, it's good if you know your HRTF, but people have known that. We've known it before. Like you hear differently than I do, and they kind of like just objectify it. And here we are. We're like, yeah, we do really hear differently. They could prove it in their end. Maybe it's just giving them the confidence that they really hear differently. But I don't think that it also dismisses the fact that even with us who don't know our own HRTF, if I say like this is too basic for me, but I don't have the measurement for that, would I say that I'm lying? I don't think so. You know? It is limited, you know? Like say for example about like, oh dude, like this chili is spicy. And then someone's like, really? Is it really spicy? I measured my tongue and it's spicy for me, but you don't have a measurement for your tongue, so you must be lying. Kind of like that, you know? But even before those measurements, we knew that we hear differently, and it's, you know, like it's all about preference. Um, you know? And that's why sometimes reviews sometimes don't matter anymore. And I've known this. I really tried to make my reviews more personal. But it's just the nature of reviewing. You know, people are gonna take it at face value that you are kind of like suggesting that this is how it sounds like. And so I have to repeat that intro, dude. Like, dude, you have to listen it to yourself because everything is very, very subjective. And let me just pee. All right, sorry about that. So, yeah, I suspect because sound vibrations are suspect to medium changes and there's complex fluid dynamics. We are still far away from full understanding. I know we're still far away. Now, this is very interesting. Did you see what's this? Do I have way to measure output impedance on sources? Misk is doing his research on that. I do not know yet how to do it, but I don't know how. Oh yeah. Oh, it's my sugar daddy. It's Audio Amigo Omar. Yee! So, did you see who was that the video of Headphone Show yesterday? It was Lumen. I saw the video. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that because anyhow, so Resolved's video yesterday about Lumen and how he did not like the Lumen and why other people liked it. So again, I asked AI ChatGPT if there's any correlation with body build and ear canal circumference or ear canal, not the length, but how big your ear holes are. It's kind of, okay. That's great, Omar. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely. So, there's not a lot of data for it, but it seems like this is why Asians or smaller people could take gain. Because this is just my theory. So smaller ear canals don't disperse sound too much compared to like a bigger ear canal. Think of it as like there's just so many resonances and it can peak anywhere. So with Resolve and having look at the lumen, let me see here. What in his case, he's a bigger guy, so I'm expecting he's also has bigger ear holes probably. He can't take this. It's, these peaks in here. So I don't know how it happened to his ears, but I feel like there's so if you're a bigger guy, maybe look for stuff that have lesser gain. Maybe that's what you can what you can take from it. I'll definitely shoot you a message, Omar. Yep. So yeah, that was enlightening, that Resolve did not really like the Lumen. But Mark's a big guy. He liked the Lumen, so I don't know. Okay, so yeah, definitely we can do that. Yeah, with the impedance on sources, I will use I will use that data because I feel like if I'm going to use my M3 Plus, I need to find a way to measure this. I was able to measure my Shanley M3X in my previous PC, but it's just a Windows workaround, man. I need to find updated ADB drivers for this because it doesn't detect. Yeah. So, yeah, in the future, if we see the impedance of yeah, sorry about that. I know. I know it's gonna sound, but for a while, It's probably too close. Um, I just put it really far away because sometimes when reviewing it gets in the way. Like I move my hands a lot, but thanks for that though. $80 ohms, but the thing is, usually with sources, they are supposed to have less than one. Oh, okay. So it's wait. I'm trying to. Okay, so you were able to test now the impedance of. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm interested in that data because finally we can have a link or a direct correlation to sound. Oh yeah, that's what I see. Yeah. Um, the thing about like for example the what I did here in my what did I do? Where's my graph? Okay, the thing about what I did here with say for example just the DS3 and the JM6 is um amplification can affect impedance, especially if there's like I don't know what class A, class B amplifiers over there. It's not really the DAC that's doing the change, but it's more of like the overall circuitry. So for example, a Cirrus Logic DAC, usually they have built-in amplification already, especially for 43131. But with ESS DACs, they have a different they usually require a different amping. And that's what's giving the coloration because say for example with 43131 they combine it with SGM amplification. With ESS you don't see those kind of combinations that often, and maybe it's just because of the limitation of their I don't know the design. um, and usually ESS is more expensive. I don't know why, but it's probably just the design overall. But what I'm saying is, it's usually not the DAC chip, but it's mostly just the design of the DAC and what it matches. What's this? Just the design overall. It's really just the design, and usually it's a copy paste. So ESS tends to sound leaner in the bass because they just copy paste the design. You know, they don't really change a lot of I don't know the parts or something. So exactly, and that's why they O pump rolling, and for them it is like a big like with big they do O pump rolling, and a lot of people say like. Nah, it's probably just placebo. I don't think it's placebo, dude. Like you're changing the hardware in there, and you're changing the frequency. I'm pretty sure there's some change. I would love to do that in the future. Exactly. And I believe them because they're changing the amping, and it's definitely changing the FR, dude. It's definitely changing the FR, which affects the impedance, and especially if IMs with crossovers, it's gonna change the values. Okay, good to know. So it's 2.2 ohms, which makes this difference in here. So 2.2 ohms does make a difference, you know? Yeah. First thing I'm gonna do is I am going to measure the EPZ TP35. Dude, Omar, you are going into a very nice territory here because if you're able to, okay, so you measure the impedance and then after that you measure it with the IM. So I don't know what, maybe you're using an Apple dongle and you measure it with that impedance, and you can objectify what you're hearing, you know, and prove to the people like, hey, dude, like look at this, it sounds bassier because you can prove it has a higher impedance and it does really change FR. So we can finally close
the argument that sources does or doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll do that. But this is just the gist. Um, Let me show you one more thing. The creative SBX is a very, very high impedance. So it has a very high impedance, actually. To the point that the cadenza, the cadenza I have, the cadenza 12. Sorry about that. I'm not showing you anything, right? The cadenza 12. I'm pretty sure I've showed you this before, but this is what it looks like in using the creative, and I forgot what this is, but just, it affected the overall treble response of both cadenzas. But that is a very, very high impedance source anyway, so yeah. 0.2 ohms. Okay, that's good to know. Definitely I'll ping you a message because I want to measure some of my sources in here. Thank you so much, Omar, for dropping by. I really appreciate it. I guess that is it. Interesting. Ooh, my sugar daddy just popped, and he is very, very helpful. Interesting. Yep. I guess that's it for today also, guys. Gonna go hiking today. I was expecting to just chill today. But yeah. Wanna play with tube amp? Yeah. But I don't have any tube amps though. What do you mean? I live in Idaho. Potato. That could explain. Yes, they are in the Bay. Yeah, they are in the Bay Area, but I am in Idaho. We live together with Adam. Not together, but we're in the same state. So, just two of us in Idaho, man. Like, just two of us in Idaho. I made a group, like, something like Idaho something. It's just two of us in there. So, a two-man community in here. Yeah, would love to meet people though. Really planning to, I don't know, go to Kanjam or somewhere, but I'll see. No, Jatis is I think he's in California. Mark's in California. J Audio is he's in Canada. I think he's in Canada together with Hobby Talk. Um the reason I know is so we share, like loan stuff and stuff like that. Dude, like shipping back to Canada is a freaking headache. Like you pay for the shipping and you pay for the tax, and you end up paying like 60 $70. It's crazy. I don't know why that is. It's It is, yeah, it sucks there to Canada. So we just figured that, like it's not practical to be loaning sets back and forth Canada. It doesn't really work well. Even if you put gift in there, they're still gonna ask you to pay tax. Like, why would I declare? Sometimes, like, what was it? I think it was the Australia and something else. And if I declare it to be like a $20 IEM, what if it gets lost and gets, they pay me back like $20? It's so annoying. But you know what? I think the way Dracomes does his reviews is very it's very straightforward. And when you look at the demographics of the audio hobby, there's actually a lot of people who doesn't really care about measurements. The majority of the people in the hobby is just like they're buying stuff, but they just don't care about measurements. I was in, like, we have like a group, like a Philippine Facebook page, and I've seen people who were there like 5-6 years ago and still do not want to learn about reading graphs. And it's there, it's definitely okay not to do that. And that's why Dracomes appeal to the majority, because he explains it very simply. This is good, blah 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 blah, and that's, I respect his target demographic. Um, yeah, I know, and I totally understand that. Um, and so that makes Dracomes, like shooting on a, like, I don't know what you used to shoot, man. I don't know, but maybe just a phone, maybe. But right now, you really have to, I don't know. Exactly. And so if for me, if Dracomis starts measuring, he's gonna lose his viewers, dude. Like, Dracomis is Dracomis because of what he does. Um, and for me, let's just keep it that way. And it's fun. I tried to use the hand thumbnail. Kind of works. May do that more often. But yeah. I try to be just in the middle, like, yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah. Dude, Omar is so fluent, man. I wish I could be like Omar. Do you guys know Chris Love? Do you know guys know Chris Love? Like, he's this guy on, Facebook. We've known him before. But his reviews on Headfi are freaking long. Like, he could write a book. Like an IM, he could write a book on one IM. I'm not sure if you've read him, like if you've read his reviews on Headfi, but that dude is a beast in writing. Like, and Omar is so, he's very, I don't know, is Omar still here? But Omar just explains it really, really well. Like, if I don't cut my reviews, there's gonna be a lot of fillers, like and that's how my videos are edited, because I am not as fluent as you guys. English is not my first language, so sometimes I need to think what the right words to use. um I got inspiration in editing my videos from Rip Trippers. If you guys know Rip Trippers, you guys know Rip Trippers, the guy that reviews vaping before. Um, okay, and I'm actually so I'm a fun guy in my language. I'm not boasting, but I I used to imitate when I would way back in the Philippines. I used to imitate people. And I'm thinking of doing a content imitating reviewers. I'm so if Dracomies, if you're listening, just want to ask permission to imitate you in my future videos. I'm thinking of J Audio. I'm gonna imitate him. J Tiz. I'm gonna imitate him. That would be fun. Just to change, just a change of pace. Um, but I need to be watching them a lot of videos to really copy how they talk and stuff like that. Dude, I could imitate Jatiz, man. Like, the Duno SA6 Mark II. This video is sponsored by Duno. They sent this review sample. I could, and I was imagining it last night. It's so funny in my mind, like just imitating people. I know, dude. I was looking at, I was watching J Audio's review. I was already looking at sunglasses, and I was watching his videos and kind of like picking up the words he say. So this is how he does. Okay, let me just a sample. So today we're gonna talk about the Australia, quote unquote, the circular planar. So kind of like that. But the Jay's Audio, what makes Jay's Audio is his background. So I've already found his background on YouTube. I just need to integrate that on OBS, and then maybe just download some bunch of memes, because that's what makes Jay's Audio. Oh my god. Um, but yeah. That'd be fun though. That'd be fun. I could do Timmy too. I could do Timmy. Sawadee. No, just kidding, dude. Like, oh my god. Um, but yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I'll do that to I don't know what I am's though. Dude, I was already through my room. Yeah, that's my future plan. It's just, make this hobby more fun. The audio has stalled in a way that companies don't even know what they're doing anymore. Like they're at the ants wits, like they're just everything just the same signature, just the same sound. Um so it's nice to create something that's more fun and make this hobby less tense. Mark is hard to imitate, but I can imitate his video style, cuz I'm kind of like I have an overhead and I just need to make um this part in here circle. Yeah, and remove my transition and you know. And usually he does like 3 IMs on the table for the comparison. Mark used to be no, he has a camera YouTube camera or lenses or something. Like yeah, he used to make videos about lenses and cameras. For Omar though, I just need that bookshelf. I need that bookshelf. I need that bookshelf. And then it's just really just the hand doing this. And then maybe I'll just ask ChatGPT to make a review on something, and I'll just read my review very articulately, and it's just do the hand gestures, and that's probably much it. You know, I just need the the bookshelf. Oh, is he? Now we're gossiping reviewers here. What? You know what I heard about Omar? There was this what was that like a Comic Con or something in California. There was this event, and Omar had a booth. This was I don't know how I heard this story, but Omar had a booth with all his IMs in there, and he curated it like bassy blah blah blah. Like he had a booth, and you know just for IMs, which is was it Hi-Fi Con? Was it? Dude, that is just next level of passion in there, you know? That's next level passion in there, dude. Like a menu? Yeah, I heard that. Was it in JD's interview? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think it was the JD's interview or with Linsol. You need deep pockets. Not anymore. Joyce imitation? That's gonna be hard. Holds up an iron. Don't know what this is, but it's great. Yeah. Critical is a little bit hard though, because I need to be more chinky. I need to be white, a little bit bigger, and I need to have that background with, you know, his IMs and headphones. You could do critical. Dude, there are a lot of Indian reviewers. Like they get a lot of views. Like I'm not sure if you've noticed that I am for love bass lovers or something, but there's a lot of Indian reviewers out there. They're probably popular in India. Um, you can do the Singapore accent. I can do the Indian accent too. This I am is really really nasty. The bass is really really full, but I can't really hear the treble at all. Singapore is they have this la at the ending. No. Oh man. Dude, I had Indian friends and I make fun of them. Yeah. I make fun of them. Craney is actually a very tall guy. I met him. I met him in Japan with Timmy. Dude, that sucker he's tall, man. I think he's 6'2" or something. He's tall, dude. He looks fat on person, but he's just a big guy, man. He's tall. And it was very funny because so I got too drunk. So, like we went there, and I got too drunk and I don't know what I was doing, but Timmy at that time said like I was just shouting when we're walking in the river and I was shouting to Japanese girls like I don't even know what I was talking about. And they're kind of like avoiding me because people are thinking that we're in the same group, but I was too noisy. They were trying to disown me. um Ooh, okay. But yeah, Crin's tall. He's tall. And he's also very, when but yeah, he's a chill guy. Anyway, guys. Anyway. So yeah, I think that is it for today. I didn't expect this live stream to end like this, like talking about reviewers and stuff. He's definitely tall for me, man. Like I'm 5'3". Yeah. But thank you so much for being here. Gonna end the stream. I don't know if I'm gonna do another stream next week, but it's good to keep in touch. 5'8" or 5'9"? Oh, okay. I thought he was 6 though. But he's definitely tall for an Asian. He's tall for an Asian. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time. Have a good day, and bye for now.